we're gonna talk to Jalen Haynes here in a bit. I'm wondering what made him a player who was a fit for a 2-0 jersey.
I can barely hear Greg right now. I think it's about Jalen Haynes wearing number one.
What made him a fit for one of those 2-1-0 jerseys?
He's everything that it epitomizes. I mean, he's a physically tough kid. He's mentally tough. He's never on a list. He's what the brand's all about. And we wanted that 2-1-0 to be the most important three numbers because it represents, obviously, the city of San Antonio, our area code, and what triangle toughness is about. And mental toughness, physical toughness, and representing the brand. So Jalen, big country, he's I think he had over 100 votes as well. So very well respected by his teammates.
Is it relevant that he's the only senior in that group? What does he mean from a leadership perspective?
Yeah, that's for sure. He's one of our older guys. He's had some success. He has confidence. He plays hard. So you can't have enough of those kind of guys. And I hope he loves number one because since the NCAA gave him another year of eligibility, I'd love to have him back next year.
And we talked about Rashad yesterday, but he's also kind of positioned as a leader with this group, and he's only a sophomore. What is that dynamic like of a young player also being kind of one of the team leaders?
I was shocked at that, honestly. When I got here, I just felt like, because he's from Converse Judson and he was such a local hero, I just felt like it must have been just like the buzz. But then when I got to know him and his family and Bryce, I could see what the fuss was all about. He was the leading vote getter. Rashad Wisdom had the most votes of all of them. And it's very rare you see a young man that young in age be that old in soul. Rashad Wisdom's an old soul.
Is it just sort of how he guides his teammates, or does he do it more by example? You know, where does that leadership show itself in a practice setting?
Well, he's both now. He doesn't just talk a ton, but he talks enough. And obviously his actions are impeccable, but his words are right on point too. And when he speaks, they listen.
Okay, JJ, you're up.
Hey, Coach, I was wondering, I guess, what your schedule looks like. Is this like an idle week, kind of bye-week type of schedule you're working through this week?
We're literally going through the Texas State week exactly like we're going to do it next week. Everything from Friday night, Saturday, 2:30 kick. We're going to do it all. So we want our kids to start getting comfortable with routine. We have an entire new coaching staff. We just completed our 16th practice of the season. So, we just finished spring ball, and we just got one more practice. So, there's a lot of things we have to work through as a staff, where we're going to stretch Saturday, where we're going to sit on the bench, sideline, core, all that kind of stuff, things you got to work through this week. We'll have a real mock game Saturday and a mock Friday night. The whole week's been a mock week, honestly.
What about Texas State? Have you got to looking? Obviously, they haven't played yet, but have you got into looking at what they do? And can you tell us a little bit about what you're hoping to see from? They play this Saturday. What do you think you'll see out of them this Saturday?
Yeah, we'll know more Saturday. I have a lot of respect for Jake Spavital. He coached my son at A&M. So Jordan was actually been in the room with Jake for at least 2 years, maybe even 3. I'm not for sure how long they were together. But I know that Jordan's coaching style is more a reflection of Jake's coaching style than mine. So that probably shows you how much Jordan thinks of Jake compared to his father.
Okay, Greg, back to you.
Jeff Sticks is the other guy we're going to be talking to today. He's going to be wearing number 2 for you guys, of course. How did he show you that toughness and representing the brand the way you guys are looking for?
Well, we have a tracking system on all these kids now that lets us know how far they run, how fast they run, how long they're on their feet. And I would say of our 16 workouts, Sticks has been in the top 3, if not the top 1, every single time. Nobody outworks Sticks. He only has one gear. It's full speed. And he's in and out, one of our top 3 every single practice of how hard he works. So he also does a fantastic job just in the locker room with the guys. And I remember when the George Floyd incident came out, he was one of the key pieces that really did a great job of holding our team together during that time.
When we got to see some practices last year, circumstances were a lot different, but he was very kind of like loud, boisterous, fun-loving kind of guy out there on the field. Have you seen those elements of him, and what does that do for a team dynamic?
He's toned it down some, but that's his personality. He's just done a better job of speaking when needed to and holding back a little bit, maybe. He's just wise beyond his years as well. He comes from good parents, good people, and he's in a unique situation. His father is a policeman, but he's also a young black male athlete, so he has a unique perspective in our locker room about his father's perspective, his perspective as well. He's really neat to talk to and listen to, and I enjoy my conversations with Sticks.
And you were just mentioning that you guys are really through 16 practices here, but obviously in a different world, you'd be getting ready to play this weekend. Could you have had the guys ready to go for Saturday, or is the extra week kind of an advantage? How do you look at it now that you have you're right in the moment?
And it was funny, the other day somebody asked Frank Harris the exact question about, did they feel like I was making them practice? And Frank's like, no, we need every single minute we can get. So any second we can get, Greg, any extra minute is going to be of value to us just because we're so far behind the 8 ball. It just takes a lot of work to be really good at football. You could take 11 players out there right now and start on the 2-yard line and go on air and say it's a 12-play drive. And I promise you, on air, you would have trouble executing all 12 plays in a row. Now then put 11 more people over there that are coached well, that play hard, and you can imagine the difficulty and the reps it takes to get really good at this game.
All right, JJ, back to you.
Jeff, I saw on Twitter yesterday that some of the donors to the program were able to raise $100,000 in donations recently. What's your reaction to that, and what does that mean to you and the players?
I don't want to start mentioning names because it'd be too long to be here of guys that there's just certain people in this community that it means a lot to. A lot of those money that were given were even students that gave $10 and $20 and $5. It wasn't just guys. It doesn't have to be. I don't want to say this that I get in trouble. Old people that give the money to help. $20, $10, $5. It all matters. There's a lot of stuff we need. I don't want to get on here and start talking about all the things we need, but you can imagine with this year and all the budget cuts, what it took for these kids. We're not staying in a hotel Friday night. We're going to be in our apartments, in our dorms, and there's some things these kids have cut to play football. That's truly amazing what these young men have done to get tested. 1 time a week this whole time, now 3 times a week. Now there's antibody tests, there's EKGs, and what these kids have done, they're truly a testimony to everybody. It reminds me of, Shawshank Redemption, that quote in there where you either get busy living or get busy dying. Our kids, they've been living, and they have really been a great example for all of us of how to keep living in a time that's very hard. They feel almost second guessed and judged for trying to live. And I commend them tremendously.